how did he do this? Maybe he is playing for himself. I mean, I thought that was such a huge, red flag.
Yeah, from what I thought, and what Frank had told me, and Frank had been honest with me most of the game, he just basically said that Ian and Brittany were close, and he said Ian was safe that week for the POV, so he couldn't put him up, and, so he put up his best friend, which was Brittany, and that basically didn't affect that didn't affect Danielle or myself, because he told us that he didn't throw us under the bus. He only threw Brittany under the bus. We didn't know what was set up there in the HOH room. It could have been a red flag, but at the same time, we trusted him. I shook his hand week 3. We had a Final Four all the way, and again, maybe that's my naiveness coming in, and that's something that I would change. But it's tough looking back now. But in the heat of the moment, you trust your gut, and that's what I trusted.
Okay, let's take another caller. Let's go with caller 407. You're on.
Hey.
Hello.
My name is
Jess.
I have a comment for Shane and a question for Danielle.
Sure.
Shane, you keep saying that, I'm trying not to be rude, but you keep saying that you're a man and you shook him in the, shook his hand and looked him in the eye. You did the same thing to Frank. You did the same thing to Jen. I mean, you swore to them all, like, oh, I won't vote you out. You even went to Janelle and made, this 30-minute speech about how you weren't going to vote her out, and she had your word, and you shook her hand, and then you did the same thing. So it's like,
Correct.
It came back to you.
It did in a sense, but just a little bit of backfire. I had an initial alliance of 5 people, and I had to do what I had to do in order to keep that final 5 alliance true to the end. And if that was, making a lie or, a backstab against someone other than my alliance, obviously I'm going to do it. It's part of the game.
Right, so you can't begrudge Dan for doing that. I mean, you guys had a final too. You guys were going to vote Dan out. So he took you out before you could take him out. That's good on his part. You can't say he stole the money from you, and I mean that's just kind of being ridiculous. But anyway, my question
let him address. Let him respond to that, because it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah, it's definitely fair, and part of that was my naiveness. But again, I just overly trusted him, and I shouldn't have, and that was my biggest mistake of the game, and it cost me probably the whole game. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, it did. And I was just really worried about Danielle. I know you said you had to have surgery when you get out for cancer. I was wondering how that went, because I've lost a child to cancer, so I know how that could be. Have you had surgery yet, or is that coming up?
I never said I had cancer. I said it wasn't cancerous. I did have the mass removed. I did have it.
So you said, I'll quote you, I gave up my whole life. I have to have surgery that they thought was cancer. You said it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, they thought it was cancerous, but then it was benign. I wouldn't have been on the show if that, I am so sorry that you've lost somebody to that. I truly am. But, mine was not. But I did have a nod, and I had it removed last week.
Oh, okay. Well, we're all happy about that.
Yeah, she's right here next to me, and she has the stitches, the sutures, and everything, and she actually was a sweetheart enough to fly up 2 days after her surgery to surprise me, because I was in a bad state of mind. So
I know. I mean, I don't want to begrudge her, because I know she's had a rough life with the jet ski and broken arms, broken jaw, cheekbone, broke her nose twice, IBS, renal failure. It's been a lot. So I wish you the best. All right?
Thank you for your call.
Thanks,
caller.
Okay, let's go to caller 816. You're on.
Hi, my name is
Hello.
Lori. One of my comments, I've been on hold. I was going to say the same as the last caller. I was, wondering why Shane was so upset with Dan when he had, made deals with Frank and Joe and different people and final 2s and of course Danielle had a final 3 with Dan and Jen and herself, and final twos with Brittany and Dan, and they all did the same thing. So I just feel like, at the end of the day, they need to realize it was a game and forgive Dan for doing the same thing they did. And then the only other thing, I wondered if they had had a chance to see any of the live feeds. I don't know if you know or not, but you can go back. They have a flashback. So you can actually see these comments that people are upset about with the various stories or lies or however you want to turn them.
And I think she said early on they haven't watched anything yet because it's difficult for them to dive in to watch the playbacks yet. But maybe you guys want to address that and respond to her?
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I said, I wish nothing bad to Dan. I wish no ill will towards him. It's just a game, and he outplayed us, and he played a great game. That's why he's probably one of the best to ever play this game. And to talk about the live feeds, I really have no intention to go back and watch the live feeds or relive any of that. It's so hard. It's so hard to live in that house and have everything, recorded and stuff. And it's hard enough to kind of get back to reality right now, and then to sit there and have everybody scrutinize every little thing about you. I really just, I don't really want to go watch. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I haven't even watched, I started watching the first episode, and I had to shut it off just because your emotions get back into the game, and you keep replaying woulda, shoulda, coulda, and that it destroys you inside. And, I'll just leave it at that. There's different things that you could change throughout the whole game that had a different outcome. And, if you would have done a certain something at a certain time, I would have not gotten evicted the night that I did. So, and I could be holding a check for $500,000. So, you can't play the shoulda, woulda game. And, Dan's a great player. I'll give him credit for it. I just really had, 100% trust in him. And, and maybe that was obviously my fault to have that much trust in him.
That's just honest. That's all I can say. That's just an honest answer. Don't let it destroy you, though. It's a game. You know what I mean?
I know it's a game, but yeah, it's tough when you come so close to something and you want it and need it so bad, and then it's just taken away from you. Right.
Yeah. Caller 252, you're on.
252?
Hello?
Who are we talking to?
James?
Hi, James.
Hello there.
Hey.
What's up, bud?
How we doing?
I'm doing all right. I just want to tell Shane he played a great game.
Appreciate that. Thank you, man.
Yeah, man, you was cool and you was good in the competitions and all.
Yeah, I was killing it there for a little bit. I had to slow it down, man. I had to up so.
Yeah, but it's not all about the competition. It's about the social game, too.
Yeah, social game was lacking. I had never seen the show up until I was sequestered right before the show. I only watched season 11, and the lack of knowledge for the actual social aspect of the game is what I lacked. And once Brittany left the game, that's kind of when I started to struggle because I didn't really know what to do. And but everything happens for a reason, man.
Yeah, but social's a big part of the game there.
Yeah, it is.
I agree. Yeah.
Listen, I'm sorry. We have 48 callers on the line, and we want to try and get to at least half.
We're going to do our best.
We're going to have to, callers, please make your questions brief. Let's go to caller 631.
Hi, ladies. This is Michelle from New York.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi. Hi, Shane, Danielle. My comment to Danielle was I'd like to give you some credit for your gameplay. I think that most people don't give you enough credit, I don't think. A lot of people, including myself, I will admit, were a little frustrated that you kept believing in Dan, but you have to give yourself credit for helping Dan convince people to do things. That was good gameplay, so I will give you that. one of my question, I guess, was the ladies were talking earlier. You were pretty close with Brittany, and the conversation I'm remembering, she was kind of drunk at the time, but she had said to you a few times, "Don't trust Dan. Don't throw any more competitions for him. You can trust Ian. You may not like him." Did you just did you think about those things at all, or were you like, oh, well, she doesn't know about the funeral business and I already know about that, and kind of didn't take that advice at all? Or did that ever come into your head?
I definitely valued all of Brittany's opinions, especially since, she was definitely wiser than me in the game. And I knew that her and Ian had a special bond that, I didn't have with him, and so I completely understand why she trusted Ian. I guess that I just trusted Dan too much. So, about not trusting Dan, I guess I was just blinded by the mist and everything else, So I was just blinded.
Absolutely. I will let you ladies take other calls. Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely, Michelle. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, let's go to 713. You're on.
713.
Hello?
Hello?
Thank you.
All right, let's go on to the next one. 719,
let's
you're
move on.
719?
Yeah, hello.
Hey, most of my stuff was answered, but I do want to say it was really painful watching what Dan did to everybody. And Danielle, if somebody treated you like that in real life and kept treating you like that in real life, would you still have anything to do with them, or would you just kind of shut them out of your life?
Well, I definitely would have cut it off. It's just I just try to be so forgiving, and he would apologize and he would try to explain to me that it was strategic and stuff. And when you're stuck in a house like that and you don't really have other options, you can't leave. You still got to see this person. So I felt like I needed to trust him and I needed to forgive him, and I was just trying to see the good in everybody, But if somebody else did that to me, no, I'd probably cut him off because I wouldn't have time for it. I wouldn't have use for it. Except when you're in the house, you have nothing better to do, and you got to keep remembering you're playing a game.
I mean, I know it's a game, but still, it's just, he said he left his morals at the door and he picked them up on his way out, but just the fact, when you're that evil to a person that you can make them cry over and over again, that is just, that's not human. That's evil.
Yeah, it hurts.